If you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator bait. If you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator bait.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is another episode with If You Ain't a Gator. Got my man Corry here from Stadium and Gale, Flow Factory Pod, the man, the myth, the legend. Bro, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me.
All love, man. Thanks for the invite, man. Never a bad day to talk some Gator football, man.
Of course, bro, and we're right here. This season is just, I feel like it's right there, but it's still so far away. I can't, man.
I
All
got
right, well,
butterflies now.
bro,
Now I'm anxious to see it all. Like they shut down camp as far as like visuals with the media. So you just into like game one prep mode, bro. And I'm excited for the games now, bro.
Bro, so ready. I'm actually kind of glad they shut down the practices, calm everybody down. I know people are stressed now, probably more so now than when they're hearing about the boots, but I got my own opinions about that. We'll get into that a little later.
For sure.
But with these lives, we always start it with who is your favorite Gator of all time?
My favorite Gator of all time, man. I think it's hands down Fred Taylor. Um,
Okay.
I'm from Belglade. Got a lot of close relations with him. I watched him grow play when I was a kid at Glade Central, and I was already a Gator fan before he went to UF because of
Mhm.
Lewis Oliver and some others. You know, Belglade's a Gator town, but them boys going him and Rita at that time was just hands down the greatest era for me as a kid. I was in eighth, ninth grade, very impressionable. And Fred was just one of those dudes, man. Everything he did was just cool. You know, he's a real cool guy. Not very outspoken, but his demeanor is very cool. So big fan of that guy. And then
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
Jaguar too. So when he got
Exactly.
drafted by the Jags, I'm just like, all right, now we're just doubling down on it a little bit.
I say it's a perfect match. He's one that like it was a little bit before me, but of course, being a Gators fan, you go back and watch it. I talked about it before. My favorite is Reggie Nelson. Always will
Oh yeah,
be. He
yeah.
was flying around everywhere, and I mean, I followed him even through his NFL career and everything. He's just someone that I was just so impressed by. I mean, I'd be out there in the backyard playing football, trying to pick off the ball in front of my brother, be just like him. So it's
Yeah,
cool. I
it's
mean, my eighth, ninth grade year was Tebow, Percy Harvin, so I kind of got spoiled a little bit.
yeah. I mean, I got the '90s. I got the first natty. When I
Yeah.
was in school, my pops actually let me stay home from school after that one, bro. So I got the first natty, the New Orleans when we beat Florida State. So that felt. My brother's a Florida State fan, the only oddball in the
Oof.
family. He just decided to go against the grain because he's just that type of guy.
I'm gonna be
But
a rep.
yeah, I got to like troll my brother. We beat Florida State in high fashion with a blowout. So that one right there is special to me, bro. I got to see all Florida Natties. A lot of fans can't say that about their sports program.
I like to say I was alive for all of them, but I was four when the first one happened. Actually, I was three when the first one happened. So I mean, can't really claim that one, but I do tell people that the first one I remember, the '06 one, I recorded it. This is how whack my brain is, like how crazy I am. Recorded that thing on VHS tape just so I could go back and rewatch it. As soon as Ted Ginn took it to the house on that first play, I was like, delete it. Delete the tape. I don't want to watch it. This is going to get real ugly.
So for that one, I was an adult. So like as a kid, you can't you just happy your team won. You celebrate as a kid, but as an adult, I remember that championship like it was yesterday, man. Like my wife was pregnant with my daughter at the time. I actually had some hater friends over watching that national championship. So when Ted Ginn returned it, they're all in my face talking crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
the rest is history. But now I got to get just real drunk after that one, like real celebratory after that. The two urban ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then next, the Billy one this year. It's all right. We'll all
Yeah,
get drunk
yeah,
after this one.
yeah,
We'll all
for
get drunk
sure.
after this one. I got some lies to tell on this one.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
celebrate like adults.
I think it's crazy as like someone like you can understand being through all three of them. I think a big thing that people don't understand, I brought this up when we went up to the Florida Ole Miss game last year. My brother and I were walking up to the stadium with our wives, but I looked at him and I told him, I'm like, I don't know if you feel this way. I said, but I do. Like, we came up here in the '08 season and we know what it felt like. And I'm like, walking up right now with Lagway being the starter, like, we know that's our guy. walking up, I'm like, it just got that '08 vibes. And I even told him, I'm like, I want to see a major right type hit. It didn't happen in the first quarter, but you got hit. Jordan Castell hit out there hitting Ole Miss's receiver, and I was like, bro, we just called that. It just the vibes are different right now in Gainesville.
For sure. That's
Basketball
what's up.
team out here balling.
Yeah, if we go back to back, that would just be too crazy. If we go like right when we get a basketball and come back and get a football, and that would just be too nostalgic. But I almost went to that Ole Miss game. So we went to me and my son went to the LSU the week before, which was an amazing time. Then that next week we were playing. Like my son was like, "Hey, let's go back," because I had more tickets. He's like, let's go back." But we had too much going on, family. I like we can't run it back to back. And then when we see Jaluk, my son seen Jaluk slamming the basketball on the sideline.
Yep.
He's like, "Dad, I told you we should have went back."
Bro, we got given tickets too, and I was like, I told everyone, I was like, we got to go. I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like we got to be there for this game.
Yeah.
Something just felt like we were gonna. I mean, I think that's a big thing rolling into this season. Like, if we can transition that over, don't think about where we're ranked, none of that stuff, because if I'm not wrong here, I think that this is the first time under Billy that preseason AP poll that we're ranked. So I don't think we should be unranked. I mean, we're very proven, with Lagway as quarterback, with the team that Billy has built top to bottom. But I don't feel like, I just hope that they keep that same energy, you could tell that they were fighting for something and that they were fighting. I mean, honestly, they're fighting for Billy, I felt like. But
yeah, that's a team that's bought in, bro. Like the entire season, I was waiting and anticipating. That was a topic weekly on our show: is when's the locker room gonna quit? And I kept bringing that up, and we just never saw that quit. Like every week, they just kept coming and getting better and better and better. And by the end of the season, you could just see this team is totally bought in. The talent is there. There's not a lack of talent in any position. There's certain spots where I'm not, over the top with our depth, but the talent is not questionable. It's just
of
youth.
course.
But even at the youth spots, you got 4 and 5 star, highly touted kids, man. So we're talent rich. We got, the recipe to make a run is to have a very talented quarterback, which we have. Everything's just going to come down to Billy and the staff taking that next step and growing, as big boy football coaches,
Right. So with that, speaking of depth at different positions, it's going to be a two-parter here. What is the one room that you'd say you're most worried about? I don't think us, at knowing what this team brings, I don't think that it's like a fear where it's something that we have to watch it every week. But what's the one room that you're like, it could use a little bit more? And then what's the room that you're like, yeah, that's it?
Well, I must say, like, I feel great about the quarterback position, but if Lad go down, then like I'm a little iffy about it. But outside of that, I think that's everybody's worry, and I think that's a concern for every school in the country. If they lose their starting quarterback, like who else could step up and be just as good? But outside of that, I'm gonna say safety. I love Jordan Castell. I love Bryce Thornton as starters. I love how many snaps both have, like experience wise. And traditionally, our safeties usually make that turn on their third year, like the Marcus Mays of the world, the Keanu Neals. Like you just go back, like most of our safeties made that turn their third year. So I think Costello's gonna make that turn. I love both. I love Thornton as a ball hawk. A lot of his game reminds me of Ahmad Black. He just finds the ball. He's not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but he's a football player. So I love Bryce Thornton. After that, I think we get very young. Unless you're like cross-training Aaron Gates from the nickel spot and Sharif Denson, most likely you're going to be counting on Drake Stubbs and Lagunza Hayward, two very young guys, right? And I think I would feel better if we had kept Greg Smith. He left and went to North Carolina. Business is business, not mad at him. But I think there's a missed opportunity on his behalf, and also we could have used a body like that just to be maybe like almost a starter. I think he would have got close to starting snaps if he stayed.
I think there's a lot of rotation too, like on the defense wise. I think for me, I've been very vocal about it, that I'm obviously worried about the cornerback room, only from a depth perspective. But the thing is that you can tell that we put true freshmen into playing positions here. So,
For sure.
and they've been very good at if a safety needs to come down. I mean, you got Aaron Gates back there. I think he can play anywhere
Any spot.
on that defense.
100%.
I think you could put him in nose guard and he's going to be able to play,
Oh,
honestly.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's
I trust
just,
him.
yeah, I mean, that's my favorite player, honestly. So on the
Oh,
team overall, I know a lot of people lag way things, but I feel like it does worry me a little bit with the cornerback room, just because I'm like, we know Devin Moore has been hurt before. I've been very big on, like, I'm not going to talk about, like, oh, injury prone. I'm not going to say that on anybody anymore, because I'm not even trying to put that just out into
that stigma
the
on
world.
anybody. Yeah. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
like, I feel like that's the one room that I say I'm, like, worried about, I guess, when it comes to if something does happen where people go down, where do we turn there? Because I don't know what we have with Teddy Foster. I don't know, Ben Hanks, is he gonna be ready for
I've
this?
heard good things about Ben.
Yeah, I see it. I see the stuff you post, to see some of the stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. If he can step right in, I don't care. You've posted about it. I've heard you talk about it. I've talked about it. So many people have. I just want the best players to play at all times. I don't care what your stars were coming out of high school. I don't care about true freshman or seventh year senior at this point, whatever it may be. I want the best players out there. And if that means that even if Jordan can't play the safety position and that means that Hayward has to step in, then by all means, you got to do it at this point. And that's what I want from it. But that, I'd say the corner room is the one I'm, I guess, most worried about in terms of it. But then that defensive line room is just the one I'm ready to see it. Jaden Woods, Tyreek Sapp.
Yeah, they're saying Jaden Woods gonna get starter level snaps, man, this fall. So that room is absolutely loaded. The front seven is like top tier in the country.
Yep.
I feel better about the defensive tackle position. I was a little iffy about that, but just hearing good things, even in Mbachu, like the true freshman, they're saying that he's one of them guys. I feel good about that front seven. I think George Gums is going to be a terror off the edge. I think Jaden Woods is going to be, I keep saying this, I think he's the best pure pass rusher and just straight up terror off the edge since Dante Fowler.
Yeah.
That's the type of player we get. And so when you could pass rush and affect the quarterback's pocket, you force him to make throws that he normally wouldn't make. So that's going to make the secondary better. Like us being young, having some iffy spots, you know what makes a young DB even better? Him having the quarterback having a short amount of time to get rid of the ball. So I feel better about my corners just because of that. I think our pass rush is going to be top tier.
I agree. I've said that I'm real big on that I think that a corner's best friend is a great D-line, especially a great edge. And it's anyone who pays attention to any type of football, we know what Penn State brings in when it comes to the edges.
Yeah.
And they see something, Micah Parsons, they see it. They got an eye for it. And then I think they saw the same thing in Jaden Woods. It's just that we came in and dropped maybe a little bit bigger of a bag than they did.
Or money with him though. Like I've been around that kid. He was at the media day. You were there, but that kid, it's a relationship thing. It's an opportunity thing. I don't know if he's playing right now at Penn State, but this staff has the knack of playing players. It don't matter, the age or what year you are. They're gonna play the absolute best guys. So I think the opportunity to play very early, and I think he loved the relationship he has with Mike Peterson. Billy Napier, it ends there. Like I think the whole staff can recruit well because it starts at the top, man.
Yep. Yeah, this recruiting. I get so tired of seeing people like comparing the recruiting with Billy and with Dan Mullen. I think that Dan Mullen is an X's and O's genius. I actually think he'll thrive at UNLV just because of what. Low. Yeah, exactly, and what he can cook up out there. I mean, just with the competition he's going to face, I think he can do well there. I mean, he technically did well in the SEC. I mean, he did it with McElwain's guys. But when it comes to Billy's recruiting, there's a difference and I'm real big on this. It's something it didn't even click to me until I started talking about recruiting on this podcast, that you can recruit a bunch of great guys, top to bottom. You can get even all 5 stars if you want. But if they don't work together, I think it's the same thing with the basketball team this year. You had a bunch of guys that, okay, you had teams that wanted them when they transferred, but they come together. They're making TikToks. That's something that, they like to do right now. And you saw them start to gel. Everyone was hanging out with everyone. You saw it click. And when that goes down, I think that's a big thing with this team is it's got to be a machine. If one part is off on that machine because you have someone that's not working together with you, it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. And
that's a culture fit thing.
Yep.
Like when Billy says those things, like he want to get guys that fit the culture, and you see those culture fits, and if a program's on par with it, you see that in the transfer portal as well. Like when you had the article that Zach Alberverdi dropped on 3, and Cam James is talking about, I didn't transfer. I got a little jealous when Tyrese Sapp took my spot, but it just made me work harder. Like those guys that don't just leave for NIL bag and transfer to another program, they stick because they believe in the culture. That's the buy-in of a good football team. So the culture fit is definitely there, man.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing about it too. And it's kind of is brought up with the Jack Pyburn, and it's no knock on him, but I do think you see people, especially in today's day and age with the NIL, it's real easy to go collect a bag and just. And kudos to him if he does well there, great. You made the right choice, whatever the case may be. But I definitely think that there is, what Brian Kelly is. With Billy Napier, I think what he is too. And it's like, that's my big thing. It's really easy to get mad at Billy. I've been there. I've been on the Fire Billy train. But it's also really easy to love him too because I'm like, dang, he really is. Yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, it is easy to love him.
I like him as a guy. I want to see him succeed, man. I like the way he talent evaluates. I like what he stands for, from a belief standpoint. He's a Christian based guy. Like he's got a belief system. He uses that even in recruiting, so I'm with it. I like everything he's about. It just comes down to wins and losses in the grand scheme of it all. So he just got to turn that corner on the field.
Yeah, and that's a good transition to his play calling. I want to know. I know that you got more of pull than I do, but I'm just curious about what you know about with play calling. Is he going to be? I mean, we know he's stubborn. He's gonna have some type of hand in the mix. I don't think he'll ever fully give it up. But what are you hearing about Russ Callaway? And because I've looked at Russ Callaway's kind of rap sheet, and he's very pass heavy. And I don't know if that's going to be the plan, that he's going to have more of an insight, even if it's at practice, at these are the passes that we need to call. And he kind of hands it to Billy and lets Billy kind of manage the ship. But he's handing him these are the pass plays you should be calling, not what you're throwing out there.
I mean,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Ideally, I think it's a perfect marriage, right? Billy's his run scheme is beautiful. I love his run offense. It's a beautiful setup. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of things we don't like about Billy is sometimes his passing concept. So if that's Callaway's thing is the passing scheme, I think it's a good marriage. I don't think Billy would ever just come out and say Russ Callaway is calling the offense, even if he is. Right. I think the game plan is going to be by committee. I think the PFF nerds, the analytical nerds, everybody to get in the room, look at tendencies of the defense that they're facing, what works on certain downs, what don't work, where they're suspect at. And they'll come up with a game plan together. Who I think has the sheets and make the calls on Saturday. It's not even who I think. What I've been hearing. I've been hearing that Russ Callaway is gonna have a lot of say so on game day on the play calls. I don't think that's gonna affect the run pass ratio, because I think Billy's still gonna be involved as he should. Like a head coach that's not involved in the offense, unless you Urban Meyer, who is one of the few that's never called plays and could go be successful like that. Him and Dabo are just like two unicorns. Other than that, if not, if Russ Callaway goes and be successful, he's gonna go get another job. This is the University of Florida. If you're a good play caller, the NFL is going to come a calling, or college head coach for another program is going to come a calling. So if he's good and he's poached, then you're back to square one with okay, I got to
Right.
go call, bring in another play caller and trust him. No, I like that he want to be hands on with his offense. I just think he just needs to delegate a little bit with the play calling on game day. That's all.
I agree. I think he also needs to also real quick. They're saying the volume's a little low on you.
On my end, okay, let me turn it
Yeah,
up. I got you.
but I think the big thing is too. I think he needs to trust no matter what, but you need to trust the eyes in the sky. I mean, you can only see so much from a ground level. I mean, you go stand out at any football game and you stand there and you're looking from the side at people. It's hard to see exactly what they're putting out there to go against you. Whereas that's why you got a skybox. That's why you got a people, you got coaches up in the box to trust. Um, I've been very, very big on this. You've said it. I've said it. I've heard it said around. I think that Lagway is that player that can outplay coaching. You can call any play and he can just draw it up in the dirt and then he can go and execute and make that happen. But you got to give him some type of stability. You got to have some type of structure there that, okay, these are even if it's 20 plays, these are the 20 plays that we're really going to shoot to hit. And if we can score multiple times on these 20 and we don't have to get real crazy, so you don't have to get too out of whack with it, but you got to have structure there. Then let Lagway do his thing, throwing grown men off of him that's coming around the edge on the D line, things like that, where we've seen him execute at a further level that it's like you can't coach that. You can't coach somebody that's got two grown men holding on to it against Ole Miss and he's completing 20-yard passes. But I just want to see more of, again, going back to Ole Miss game, minute 50 left going into halftime. Push the ball down the field. You got to trust the defense too. I think it's got to be a structure. It's got to be a whole. You got to trust everyone.
Yeah, it's got to be complimentary football. Over. How do I sound? Do I sound louder? Am I good?
Yeah, I mean, you sound. I'll see what the comments say.
Let's see what the comments
I can hear you. I don't know if it's just low on their end. Can y'all hear him? Everybody good? Let me see. I only saw one person say it. I don't know,
Okay.
but yeah,
I turned it up quite a bit, man. So let me know if it's too low. But yeah, I
no, I
think
can hear you good.
okay. The offense, I like your point. What you were saying, I do think we can play complementary football, and we don't have to rely on Lagway like that. I'm glad that we got a gunslinger that's a dog,
Mm-hmm.
like in a leader. I love that. But our running game, our offensive line, he got playmakers all around him. We don't have to like put a lot of pressure on Lagway. I think the offense that they run, you'll see it across the NFL. You'll see the other college football programs run it.
Mm-hmm.
While Mertz was, I think, solid here, I think there was a lot of meat left on the bone with this offense. Lagway is a touchdown, a check down style quarterback. He wants to press, and Mertz is not going to be throwing a lot of 50-50 balls. I think
Right.
Lagway could throw some guys open. His ball placement in 50-50 situation is very good. So I just think he elevates what the offense already is. I don't dislike the offense.
Right.
I dislike the nuances of it, situational play calling. Sometimes it's just
Mm-hmm.
thrown off a little bit, and that sometimes it's just a skill that you're just blessed with, the feel of the game. And I don't think Billy has the feel of the game, or I haven't seen it yet. But
Right.
quarterbacks like Lagway can change that stuff. But like I was saying, I don't think we got to rely on him to be Brett Favre. Like we can hand that
Right.
pill off and run down people through it as well.
Yeah, I think, and that's the big thing with it too. And I guess in the defense, because it's real easy to kind of go at Billy and attack Billy and be like, oh, your play calling sucks. Any of us that are Gators fans, when he got hired, we all went back and watched Louisiana's games, or when we knew it was even a possibility, we all paid attention. We tuned in. When he had success, he had a dual threat quarterback. And this is no knock against Anthony Richardson at all, but I just feel like AR knew what he was. I feel like he knew he had injury problems. I think that he knew that there was a risk of it. And I think he knew that he had a chance with his build, his speed, his arm. Like he's like, yeah, I got a chance. And he's got agents talking to him. You're going to go in the top 10 at least if you just lock in and make it through the season. So I don't know that we got everything from him, but also in his defense, Billy didn't know him. He didn't know Billy. Like that trust isn't there. Then we
It
go to
was
the
more
next.
on AR, man. Like it was really more on AR, like them
Mm-hmm.
preserving his body. You can't really get into your offense with the RPO. Like the
Yep.
offense just shouldn't have looked better with Graham Mertz than it did with AR. It was just because AR didn't want to put his body at risk because he wanted to go to the draft. That's just
Agreed.
what it was, man. So yeah, I'm with you. This offense has got to be predicated off RPO, but no defense thought AR was going to pull that ball and run while he was here.
Right. And that's the thing about it too. I mean, you got like, well, it was a run against LSU where he took it down the sideline, I think it was, and just was it LSU? I can't remember, but he
Yeah, I think it was
78.
LSU. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have that side of it that's like, and this is defending him because I just feel like when it comes to even with Graham Mertz, I respect Graham Mertz, and I think from a maturity level, I think he was the best thing to happen to Lagway. I think Lagway is great, but I think that he did a lot for that transition, even if it was for a few, whatever, a few games, get into that Tennessee game, and he gets injured, and now it's like, well, we don't have a choice but to have Lagway there. But he's still in that room. He's still in the quarterback room. He got a full year under him of somebody who played for multiple years that they're out there calling Unk and things like that to get the feel of college football. But I didn't understand why Billy went and grabbed him. I kind of understand the Harrison Bailey get out of the transfer portal because we've known that Harrison Bailey can run with the ball. It's something that Billy kind of dials up. Okay, you got a dual threat quarterback that is not run first with the quarterback, but he can get mobile. He can get out there. When he was at Louisiana, he had a quarterback that could roll out, won him a bunch of games. Even if they were ugly games, you can only do so much with the talent you got. But I really feel like now he has his guy. And I understand him not wanting to throw him to the wolves. Everybody said it. Number one toughest schedule. And it's like, well, you want me to go put a true freshman against that? Like, I get how generational talented he is, but are we going to go throw him against these guys? Or like, I feel like it was kind of like you had all these people on this side and this side, and Billy just kind of tuned it out and was like, I'm going to do what I need to do. And y'all will see it come about.
I'm a little iffy on it. Like I don't think he should have started.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think like he's talented enough. Like the game one, you gotta have packages for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Mertz went out, you had to put him in the game regardless. So he still played versus Miami.
Right.
And he came in, put a drive together, he made some plays against Miami. They still had starters in. It's not like he was playing a bunch of bums.
Yeah.
So like when I saw that and I thought pregame that they should have had at least some patches ready for them, and I'm pretty sure Miami was game planning for something with Lagway, like
Mm-hmm.
even though we didn't really have a game plan for him. So I thought they should have had, some type of, packages ready for him to come in, show, some sparks of what the offense could be in RPO. Because we
Yeah.
just couldn't really, while Mertz could do some things running wise, he really couldn't get in. We couldn't get into our bag. The offense is just more explosive when you got, linebackers and safeties that have to freeze to see what that quarterback is going to do. What the running game is going to do before they get in their drop. So I'm a
Right.
little iffy. I thought they should have had some prep for him that game one, but
I
that
agree. I mean, I'm all for him having packages. I just feel like, I guess I kind of understand. I guess I kind of look at it from the point of view of like, how would I have been in that situation where I guess I kind of go back and forth. I'll argue with myself over and over again, thinking about last season. But again, I'm very big on however that season went. If it leads to us having the playoffs this year, fine. I'll let the rivals troll. I'll let however it has to go for now because I know what this year can bring. But I feel like it all kind of everything happens for a reason. Everything worked out the way it needed to work out. But then you do see, this is me being on the flip side, you do see the throws that he makes against Tennessee. You see the throws that he makes having FSU's D lineman all over him, and he throws them off and throws a pass. Like, true freshman or not, I'm like, you got to look at that as any type of fan of this game. If you watch that,
phenom, man. Like those
yeah, it's
throws
just
he's
different.
making, you just can't. It's like the throw in LSU when he's climbing the pocket and he just
Yep.
flicks it like to my man Elijah Badger, bro. I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
stands and me and my son just looked at each other like, what just happened? Like this is
Yep.
crazy. A lot, even the UCF throw when he got that start, like some of the throws he was making in that game, I jumping on my couch because when you seeing generational type throws, right? He got some things he got to get better on, like his intermediate throws. I want to see him improve, but some of the ball placement and the flick of the wrist throws that he was making, like I knew we had one. And then
Yeah.
from there, it was just like, all right, is Billy gonna win enough game to keep his job? And with the next coach, he'd be able to keep him in the fold. But I knew we had us a special quarterback. Like the moment he started making throws in that UCF game. Of course, we had the game before then when Merckx was. I forgot who we played before that.
Was it Texas A&M?
No, he played right after the Miami game. Who did we have?
Let me look real quick. It
Because
was.
Merckx was out with a concussion.
Oh, it's Sanford. Sanford.
Sanford, yeah, he
Sanford.
went crazy in the Sanford game, and you can see it from that game. And then as the competition rose, his game
Mm-hmm.
rose, and he was making throws even versus Georgia's and the Ole Misses down the stretch. It wasn't the prettiest of football
Yeah.
in its totality, but you could see the potential for sure.
I think the big thing is that Sanford is like a perfect one to bring up because I was there for that game and sitting in the stands and watching him drop back. And again, I know a lot of people are like, was against Sanford. I don't care who it was against. It was a grown man guarding another grown man running down the field. And I watched Lagway throw a dime to Aiden Mizell
Crazy,
that I was
crazy.
like, I'm looking at my family around me and I'm like, oh, yeah, we got
We
he's
got one.
something special. Like with him, we did to Sanford, and I think we could have did more. I just think there wasn't a lot of confidence at that time coming off that Miami loss. It all of a sudden the fire Billy started, and I think there wasn't a lot of. I think if we had the same energy at the end of the season that we had right after week one, even if we had it week one, I think we beat Miami. But that's neither here nor there. Going into the Sanford game, I think we do to Sanford what we did to teams back in '08, which you should do to teams like that. Like what we're going to do to LIU in a couple weeks. And so who do you think this is just QB2 talk? Because I'm not going to talk about no possible QB1s. We know QB1's going to be for every game all the way through the national championship. Who is QB2 going to be, in your opinion?
It's gonna be Aiden Warner.
Yeah.
That's just the facts of it. It's not like who I would want it to be. Ideally, I
Mm-hmm.
want whoever is the best quarterback to win the job and be the guy, for QB2. But from what I'm hearing, it's gonna be Aiden Warner. He's been having the better camp of the three. The last scrimmage, him and Tr- um,
Tramel Jones.
Tremel Jones. I don't know why I was about to
Mm-mm.
call him Trayon.
Oh, no. Please don't
Can't
do
call
that.
him that, man. That's crazy. But him and Tremel Jones got most of the one snaps with my man Lightweight sitting out this past scrimmage. I would like to see Tremel eventually, up his game, continue to develop and be that guy so we have some continuity in the offense. But yeah, I'm hearing it's gonna be Aiden Warner. Uh, I don't know how I feel about that. He didn't have the greatest of showings last year. It wasn't the greatest of settings for him. This is
Yeah.
year two in the offense. He's gotten a lot of reps with Lagway being out spring and fall camp. So players are allowed the grace to grow and develop like every other position. So we'll see what Aiden Warner's at.
Yeah. And I think that's a tough ask of anybody. No matter, I don't care who you play for, that you go like, hey, this guy that we're calling a generational talent, he just went down. So mid game, we need you to step. I mean, again, DJ can step in when a Graham Mertz gets hurt. We understand that. Aiden Warner is not DJ Lagway. And we look at him and go, hey, all the air just left this building against Georgia, but we need you to go in and try to win us a ball game. Then we go, you need to take this next step. Now you got to go play Texas in Texas. And I mean, no matter what, I don't think even if he had time to prepare, he's not winning those ball games. We know that, but he also didn't have. I just feel like this team is so different, top to
It's
bottom.
it's
This
a, it's a
isn't going to be
crazy
just
supporting
quarterback.
cast. It's a crazy supporting cast. Like if
Yep.
he takes over, ideally you want to run the ball and run the offense through the running game, play action. You're not putting him in positions where he has to go play hero ball. And you
Yep.
want to be able to count on the defense. This defense is going to win us some games on Saturdays. Like I don't think we're going to get into shootouts. If we could get into shootout form and we start boat racing and scoring a lot of points, I don't think teams are gonna be able to score a lot of points on us. Like going to
Right.
get 40 points on us is gonna be very difficult this fall. So I don't. That makes the task not tall for a guy like Aiden Warner when you can hold teams to, you know, 17, 20 points, keep it in that
Mhm.
range. Rely on some turnovers, good defense, field position. You want to play complementary football if you want to get the championship football. Like no quarterback is going to hero you all the way.
Right. And that's the thing with it too is, I mean, Lagway, no matter what, with this cast, I've been very big on Aiden Warner, Tramel Jones. I don't care who it is you put in there at quarterback. You put a game manager in there, I think you can win games. It might be games that we're sitting on the edge of our seat through 4 quarters where we're like, okay, but I do think that the defense is going to get that ball back for us. Again, seeing Quincy Wilson, seeing Tease Tabor being there, those are 2 corners who, when they played for us, they got us the ball back. They weren't I'm just going to cover and the ball is going to get overthrown. I'm going to get up going like that. No, they were getting the ball back and they were getting a plus territory for our offense. That speaks high volumes when you got someone like Devin Moore, Cormani McClain. I watched Cormani play multiple times at Lakeland. He is a receiver playing corner. He's just really good at being able to stick on your hip and play the ball very well. So that's shown me Dijon can get picks. Bryce Thornton can get picks. We got ball hawks back there. The problem, I think, in the past was, with having them, is that, number one, I don't know that Cormani was ready. This season, I think he will. But that defensive line is going to disrupt. They're going to not let the quarterback have all this crazy amount of time. That ball is going to get in the air. And then I don't care who's at quarterback. I could go out there and probably play quarterback with these receivers and these running backs and be able to score some touchdowns.
I think I can make it happen.
Like, right, that's what I'm saying.
Off
like
the couch, you know.
Exactly.
Like,
put me in there, bad back and all. I'm being there, slinging it around.
I do want to see Castell get better in that part of his game. Is just being a ball hog, coming back, like just getting us the ball back. I played DB. You know, I remember in college, I made a play on the ball, and this is the time where the throat slit was like a big thing. But I made a pass breakup, and I jump up and I get my Trey Dean on. I'm doing a throat slit. I get to the sidelines, and they punt the ball, they pin us deep. My coach look back and look at me. He's like, "Man, I could get anybody to knock the ball down. Give me the ball back. Like them the guys I need, man. Like if you can give me the ball back, you keep your job. But if not, I'm gonna put somebody back there to go pick that off. And that's what we need from Castell. We need somebody to go get the ball. Like pass breakups is cool, but it don't get us the ball back. Turnovers win, championships, and it separates good from great. So I want to see him get better in that. And also just coming down here smacking things. Castell's got to get better this fall for sure.
Yeah, I think with him, we saw him as a true freshman elevate a defense that I think needed more. I think that he was a bright spot in a defense that just wasn't good. But I think that he needs to understand that it's like, well, now it's looking like everywhere else. I'm not saying he's bad at all, but I'm like, you got 2 true freshmen sitting right behind you that are hungry and they're ready to take your spot. And I feel like they're going to put the best guys out there because everyone, as much as I don't think that Billy is number 1 coach on the hot seat, they still know their jobs are at risk. You have another 6-7 win season. If you keep your job, it's just because you must be really friendly in that front office. But
only way he keep his job with 6-7 wins is just because you got 1 more year of lag, and that's really it.
And you guarantee them you're going to go get an OC.
Yeah,
maybe,
possibly. Our affairs got to get in order business wise for us to really like fire somebody and really go like Florida's got to get their business in order, president wise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I feel like looking at it from a standpoint of, and I get it, like it's real easy for anybody to look at us and say, well, what's been shown, Sunbelt Billy, what's been shown to you that you feel this way? And I'm like, it's just knowing football and seeing these guys, because I've been hearing, like, I don't even know where Tyreek Sapp's going to play on the D-line. I feel like, honestly, you can just plug and play with that D-line right now. But I want to see, again, Jaden Woods. I feel like Ron Roberts taking over also is just a way of, I feel like that's kind of slept on too, that Billy kind of made that where Dan Mullen would not get rid of Todd Grantham. He just wouldn't do it. And I think Billy did Austin Armstrong some justice by not coming out and saying to the press, like, oh, this is what happened because Austin Armstrong's failing, so Ron Roberts going to take over. He kind of kept it low key, let Austin Armstrong dip out to a lesser conference, and Ron Roberts stayed and he's going to call the plays. But it comes down to that. I feel like this is a playoff team as long as this machine rolls together and just continues to press forward. And I'm not real worried about the injuries. I think the boot thing may be just
It's a lot of precautionary. Like it's just
exactly.
football is different these days. It's like the way even the doctors and everything, and the physical therapists, the trainers, the way they look at health and the bodies and preserving them for the long run. Like in our day or in my day, if you sprain an ankle, you still coming to practice on that sprained ankle and trying to play through it, and then you probably battle with it all camp. But if you got good depth, right, and you lose a guy, it's just an opportunity for the next guy that you believe that's just as good. There's no drop off. It's just an opportunity for him to get more reps. And you let
Mm-hmm.
your one rest up because it's a war of attrition, bro. You trying to get through that fall as healthy as you can. So if a guy that you like and you think he don't really need the reps, like he's him already. Like Eugene Wilson, he's out of the boot. I don't have to press him in scrimmages like that because
Right.
he's a shoe-in starter. We know what he can do. We just need him healthy. So who's behind Eugene? Okay, let's get Muiz or whoever, one of these
Mm-hmm.
freshmen, some reps who we also believe in. We don't think the drop off is far, but let's get them up to speed with the playbook. This is opportunities that creates itself, man. So yeah, I'm not like the boot thing. The coverage of media in Gainesville is very good.
Yep.
Billy allows the media guys to be able to talk about certain things. A lot of other coaches don't do that. And as you know, like Zach Aberverdi and those guys at On Three, Corey Bender, or if it's the
Mm-hmm.
guys at 247, or it's the underground guys like the independent dudes like me, Dave, Hot Top, we're gonna
Yep.
report what we get because we have access to it. So there's just more coverage of us. Like, we get opportunity to talk about this team in a different light than other programs get to. So it seems as if we're outlier with injuries, but we're really not.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to respect it from a business point too. People get mad that like when you click on a link and it's behind a paywall. I'm like, this is their
That's
job.
nasty.
They got to
It's
get
nasty
paid
though.
somehow.
It's
Yeah.
nasty. I'm cool with paywalls, right? But I
Yeah.
think injury paywall stuff is nasty, dog. Like if you got clickbait articles, get that
Yep.
off. If it's scrimmage updates, I understand that, but I think it's nasty behind injuries. And now all you gotta do is ask Grok on X, and they'll let you know what the article says. So
That's true. I think I tell people, I'm like, they're gonna do it. You freak out because you read two sentences, and then if you click on it and you're paying for that, you're gonna get real mad when you click on that and you read what they actually have to say. Because I'm like, there's a paywall there, but it doesn't say a whole lot. They're
yeah,
gonna tell you what if you just really take another 3-4 minutes to look up on Twitter or X, whatever. You're gonna find what you're looking for, anyways.
for
You're
sure.
gonna have people that post it, but I'm like, it's a business thing, but they're going to freak you out because they're trying to get you to click and pay. That's their jobs. But I think is I think it's kind of nasty work too. Just I don't think they should do it, but by all means make your
I
money
ain't
if you can
mad.
make
I
your
ain't
money.
mad
I
at
ain't
it.
mad at it. Yeah.
I just think it's nasty work. But like I'm not mad. Then you open it up, like the headlines. It sounds like the player just tore his whole left side of his body, and then you open it up. It's a 2-day injury. Oh, they
Yep.
expect him back Thursday, and the day's Tuesday. It's like, all right, bro. Like, what are we doing here? You just
And I think
create.
that people don't understand the University of Florida is a medical college. So if they're trying something, who knows what the boot means? A boot can be taken off. So if they're looking at it like, okay, we Halliburton from the Pacers, we saw that he had an injury. He walked around without a boot. He walked around on that, and then it kept further damaging it. So if they're trying the boot, I mean, to me, when I hear like, oh, this player's in a boot, I'm not gonna freak out about it right away because I'm like, who knows what they're just trying to stabilize it. That's all it is. Now
Yeah,
you tell
for
me
sure.
that whatever the players on the team, if you tell me they snapped their leg or they tore an ACL, okay, yeah, now we got a problem. They're injured now. Now it's going further than that. But right now it's just people that are hurt. It
I
sucks. I
hit
mean,
I hit my toe in the ottoman, and the doctor tried to give me a boot, and I was just like, nah, I'm cool, doc. But they was trying to give me a
exactly.
boot, and I just hit my toe on the ottoman, bro. Like it ain't that serious.
Yeah,
Like you
but
said, when
it's
things get torn and there's a root, like we've seen the 4-8 seasons where we got just hit with a lot of injuries. This is not that whatsoever, man. Like
Yeah. Yeah. No, Kenny, I don't know of any other people being hurt. It's just the overall talk. But that's my big thing with it. I can't get behind. I mean, I'm not personally seeing him in a boot. I know someone is. I know it's being talked about, but if people are being cautious about injuries, and you got to understand, these are coaches that are still somewhat fighting for their job. And if that means that, hey, Caleb Banks is hurt, Lagway is hurt, like there's something that's bothering them, they're not going to practice anyways. If they're not going to practice tomorrow, if they're something tweaks on Tuesday and they're not going to play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, practice, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, why not throw them into a boot and we'll just try it? Because the crazy thing is, and we've known this to be done, Florida can be trend starters for different things. So if we're throwing them into a boot and it prevents any further injury, and then now you're going to start seeing all these other colleges go, well, let's throw them in a boot. They're not practicing
They're
for 2
already
days
doing
anyways.
it. They're just not covered. Like Florida is covered. Like Florida
Mm-hmm.
State just said, I think Squirrel White and a couple other guys are in boots, bro. There's players in boots on every campus. JoJo traded down to Miami has missed the
Yep.
entire camp, and there's not one article on it anywhere. So, bro, everybody's in boots. Everybody bang. It's football. This is a very
Yep.
physical game. You got like gladiators colliding into each other on a weekly basis, bro. Like very strong guys. Like people gonna get injured, nicked and bruised. Boots are normal. It's not like end all be all. Everybody relax.
I'm 32. I mean, I hit 30s and I feel like stuff started hurting a little bit where I'm like,
Oh, keep living,
okay,
brother.
yeah, your back starts tweaking, but I'm like, I still go through my day and I get it. I'm not out here playing against SEC talent, but I'm like, just when you look at it to a comparison standpoint, you get up, you do things, still go to the gym because you're hurt and whatever the case may be. I'm like, these are young, but these are jits out here that are, their bodies can endure more than we can. And I
For
think
sure.
that, a lot of us are older heads that are watching this. And when we find out that, there's something that hurts them, like just because it immobilizes us for a day, it ain't going to do the same to them. And also, they got access to the best treatment
For
that you
sure.
can ask for at UF.
For sure.
So,
100%.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, next question for you, because I'm very curious about, what do you think? Another two-parter here. What's our toughest game on the schedule? Like, you think that's the game we're gonna fight tooth and nail, and even if it's the same answer, what do you think that like have to win game is?
Have to win is gonna be tough. I mean, I think our toughest game is between LSU and Texas. I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
LSU because it's on the road. You gotta go to Death Valley. It's gonna be a night game for sure.
Yep.
They're gonna have a good defense in a very loud stadium. Billy has struggled on the road, so just like naturally to me, I think that's the toughest game. But if you want to catch LSU, you want to catch them early, especially under
Yep.
this Brian Kelly regime. They've gotten clipped early on. Then Jaden Daniels turned into a Heisman quarterback later on in the season. So if you want to catch LSU, you want to catch them early. Runners up is probably Texas, but they come to the swamp. They got a new quarterback. LSU has Nussmeier, a returning quarterback. Most of their fresh new faces is on the defensive side of the ball. Even though they got a lot of talent, they're all new faces that got to gel together to have a good defense. Uh, their run game also has struggled since Brian Kelly has been there. So I like us in all those games. The most important game, you got to set the tone. So, I'm just going to go right back with LSU. I think if you win that game, you go into Miami I think we're a better team than Miami off anyways, but you go into that Miami game with a lot of confidence, you know, um,
Yep.
just as well as, losing Miami last year kind of set us back, like energy wise, momentum wise. If you beat LSU that first big game, I think that's a good start. I think that I think, is the toughest game and the most important game for the season, in my opinion. Even if you
Yeah.
lose to LSU, you want to lose that in a nail biter if you do lose,
Yeah. You want to take it to the fourth quarter, to the wire.
for sure.
See, I feel like that's going to be, in my opinion, I feel like that's the have to win, because I think that's the tone setter. I posted something on TikTok, and I mean, I got LSU fans still in their comment, and I posted that a month ago about if we win that game, I feel like that's a skyrocket game. I mean, that just shoots us up in the rankings. You obviously know we win that game. If we roll into Texas undefeated and Texas rolls in there undefeated, we're going to be at least a top 10 matchup, if not top 5.
It's top
But
5 matchup, brother.
I feel like that's the have to win. But personally, I think our toughest game is going to end up probably being Texas A&M. And the reason I think it ends up being the toughest is because I think that stretch right there, you got Kentucky after them. And then Georgia after that, but you got a bye week that's going to be in there. Texas A&M is at the end of that kind of like you got to stretch right there for
The end of
that gauntlet of teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when it comes to LSU, you got to win it because I think that's a tone setter right there. Like you said, if for some reason we lose it by a short amount, I'm not one out here giving participation wins myself because
Right.
I want to win it. And I'm going to be mad if we lose it, but I understand. It's kind of the same thing with them coming to the Swamp last year. It went to the wire, but you got to win it. I think that's the one where Billy can come out here and say, like, okay, I told y'all, be patient with me. This is what I'm going to have. But A&M, going to A&M, you go in there, even if you come out of going in A&M undefeated, that's where you got that game that's like, okay, can you push through for this final game before we finally get, in my opinion, a bad Kentucky team, and not your usual Stoops-led Kentucky team.
Right.
That's the game that I'm like, I just feel like that's going to be the one. If we get through that stretch and through that gauntlet, you got that A&M team probably, I'm guessing led by Marcel Reed, who diced us up last year. Are we going to, set the tone? Or are we going to let that happen again? That's why I think that's going to be like the toughest game because we're going to get up again. Texas game, it's in the Swamp. It's going to be loud. Everybody's going to be – there's no lack of talent in that game. Everyone's going to be ready to go. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm leaning towards that A&M game. Just it scares me. I talked about it on like my pre-recorded show that I just – that's the game. I'm like, that's the one I'm worried about.
I think the team's gonna be up just because we got a lot of Texas players, especially Lightweight being a Texas boy. I think that's gonna be a game. Both Texas games gonna be one he wants to I don't know if this is a family show, but he want to let his testicles hang a little bit in those games. Being that he's a Texas boy, both of those programs, not Texas, but Texas A&M definitely was trying to recruit him. So I think he's gonna want to, and it's out in Texas, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna have plenty of family and friends in the building,
True,
etc. But yeah, it's at the end of that gauntlet, and you could also, if you're winning, most of those games, it could be a trap. Like no SEC game could be a trap, but if you're undefeated at that point, it could be a letdown game possibly. So yeah, that position of that is definitely tricky.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people too is it's kind of hard when you come to looking at losses this season. It almost feels like when you play in the SEC, just like with the NFL, you can take some losses and you can still end up in the playoffs. The only difference is the NFL kind of dictates where they're going to be with the playoffs. You can't, there's no committee that sits down. I feel like even if you drop 2 losses, I think it does depend on who it is. But I feel like if you lose one to A&M, you could look at that and they would say, like, look at the ones they won here. They beat an LSU. They beat a Miami. Okay, they lost to Texas and they lost to Texas A&M, but it's because they just went through this gauntlet here. Or even if you drop one to Texas and say Georgia, but you beat LSU, you can kind of pin them in. But this season the SEC, no matter what, top to bottom. You look at those tough schedules, I feel like it's an NFL type league where it's like you get a couple losses, you still got to put them in. Maybe not everybody, but you have 2 losses in the SEC, all right.
I mean, you look at it, man. Like, if we didn't knock off Ole Miss that game, like they were going to get in with 3 losses.
Yeah.
Right? And their schedule is nothing like ours. So if you just look at the strength of schedule with 2, you're definitely going to get in with the strength of our schedule. With 3, I still think you got an opportunity to make the playoffs there. Look, this league is we're going to beat each other up a little bit this year.
Of
It's gonna be a
course.
lot of like just self-sabotage in the SEC, and that's what it is, man. I think if we at 2, 3 L's, we make the 12-team playoffs with this schedule.
I agree. It's just too tough of a. I think my worry is though is what do those 3 losses have to look like? Like, are they going to look at it as if we lose to like Texas, Georgia, LSU, right? Do they look at that and go, well, they lost all the top teams. Do we put them back in? I think it's like also the losses have to be. We can't get blown out by them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think if it's a bad loss, I think that hurts your ranking, right?
Right.
If you get blown out, it's going to drop you a little lower. If it's a competitive loss and you lost by one possession, that's going to be definitely considered. But there can't be no Miami and Texas A&M games this year. Like whatever
No.
else you do get, it's got to be within a possession, and it came down to the wire to be considered, in the playoff for that top 12 at the end of the year, for sure.
And I think you need to blow out bad teams. Like I
Yeah.
think you need to
That's
not
what's gonna be
necessarily
tough on
like
our end. I gotta see Billy have that kind of killer instinct in him. I don't know if he wants to blow out like bad teams.
that might be true. And part of me feels like that's kind of a problem because I think you need a killer instinct. I think you need like to, I guess, be cheesy with it. You need a Mamba mentality going into it that you're not in there, especially this season. I think that kind of weak mindset hasn't really gotten you too far. Last year was your best year, and I've talked about like I shared it. The Steve Spurrier talking about 7-5 is what Tennessee thrives off of, and it kind of felt like that's what we had last season. It is what we had, and then ended up going 8-5, beating Tulane. But it's like, when did we get here to this point of that this is okay with us? And I want to see Billy come in with that. I want to see Billy throw his clipboard down, throw an F-bomb out, say something, get mad. Like, and it's not who he is. I get it, but you got to do something. You got to put the cleats on someone's throat this year, to just be brutally honest, because I need to see some type of push to you. But I don't know. Hopefully we just blow people out and we ain't got to see it. Or at least
We
one
haven't
by.
seen it so far, but I think
Mhm.
it could be a part of his DNA a little bit. I think when we had opportunities to murder teams, he was still a little apprehensive about the defense. And a
Yep.
lot of times when you're trying to blow teams out, you can keep them in the game. We watched Miami do that with Syracuse last year. They jumped up 21. They kept trying to throw the ball deep, run up the score, get Cam Ward Heisman numbers up, and they got clipped for it.
That's
So I
true.
think he was a little apprehensive about the defense. If the defense is stronger this year and we could, snap teams down and handle them on the defensive end, I think we may see some blowouts. We just haven't seen it so far. But to blow teams out, you do need a defense that don't get gashed and give up big plays. And we were suspect to that early on last year for sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right, before I let you get out of here, I gotta ask you one more. Who is your breakout player? Let's see. I want you to get deep in your bag here. Who is your breakout player on offense and your breakout player on defense that by the end of the season, everybody like is going to be the hype on them? Even if it's not hype, but it's like hype from the fan base. So we're like,
I've been on this Caden Daniels kick for a minute, bro. I think 21 is gonna go crazy.
me too.
Like absolutely crazy. I think he ends up leading the team in yard per carry. Very explosive dude. I think he's gonna do some things in the screen game, and also the passing game that's gonna be electrifying. It's gonna make some top 10 ESPN type joints. Defense. I think the easy name is like Cormani McClain, Jaden Woods. Like those guys gonna come on the scene strong. I'm gonna go Kofi.
Okay.
I think Kofi's gonna present some. We're gonna rotate a lot at edge, and I think also that defensive end spot. We're gonna rotate a lot of guys. But I think when Kofi gets in, when somebody tap that helmet and it's his turn to come in and fill a spot, I think he's gonna be a terror. Fourth quarter when we're up, same thing with Kanan Daniels. Like you got to have fourth quarter killers. And I think when defenses are tired and Jaden Ball and Jacoby Jackson have worn teams down, you're gonna get the ball to 21. He's gonna break some big explosive runs to close games out. Same thing with
Yep.
Kofi. I think Kofi's gonna come in fresh at the end of some games when Tyreek Sapp and Jaden Woods, those guys are kind of beat up and tired, fatigued a little bit. You're gonna have guys like that come in. I think Kofi's gonna be a guy.
Yeah, I agree. Katie Daniels is a big one for me. That's the one I've been shouting out on here. I think that I think he's going to be him this year. I could even see with
100%.
Aiden Mizell. He's another one. I think you
Yeah,
could see
yeah,
him. You've seen flashes of him, but I think that him and Lagway kind of have a special connection. Almost, I
for
think
sure.
like the Graham Mertz, Ricky Pearsall connection.
Hmm.
But Katie Daniels, I think at the end of the season, you're going to see the fan base really pushing him more. Defense, it's Cormani for me. It's Cormani or Aaron Gates, but I think Aaron Gates kind of made his splash, but he's not nationally known yet.
Right.
But I think he will be. But Cormani, that's a selfish pick for me because I'm from Polk. He's from Polk. I just want to see him break out on the scene and really hit that next step that we know. I mean, I watched him. He's a special talent.
I want to see Cormoney win because I like the people that a lot of people gave up on him. A lot of people thought he was cooked. He didn't handle himself the best of ways with his recruitment, going out to Colorado, and people give up on some of these young boys. But it's about development, and I think this could be a very like good case study of like what Billy Napier is as a developer, and believing in these kids, develop them not just football players, but developing the mindset and developing grown men to be adults and to be responsible, to be accountable. I think he can make full circle on some things, man. Like leaving Colorado, didn't have a lot of offers. Billy giving him an opportunity to come here as a walk on, and then him getting back and living up to his 5-star height. I think this could be one of those specials they do before the game. Like how they do the game day specials when they go and talk to the mom and all that. I think
Oh,
he'd
I
be one of
know.
those. Yeah, for sure.
I agree. And I think I've been very adamant on this because I'm a Dion fan. I think that he is he loves the lights. We know that, and that's fine. He's made for it. He thrives in it, and that's brought to Colorado. There's a massive YouTube channel that his son runs, and just overall, there's cameras everywhere, there's lights everywhere, and some people think that they're made for that. Some people think, yeah, I can thrive in that, I can do great in that.
It ain't for everybody.
It's not, and just where Cormani comes from, I think that going back to his roots of being in Florida, it just even the weather feeling the way it feels, just everything feeling different. That's where I think someone thrives. There's a lot about being home. I know people are like, oh, get away from your home, get out, see things. And it's like, yeah, it's fine. Gainesville still ain't that close to Lakeland, but he went all the way out to Colorado. I think there's a lot more that plays into it that a lot of people, the media loves to beat somebody down because they get a story out of it.
Right.
And he's talked about it. People around here talk about it that, yeah, he dealt with a little bit of issues, but you see a different person now. Just him going out and volunteering that the way the football team does, you see him posting about it. You don't see all the players posting about it, but he did, sharing it, different things like that. I think you're seeing a more mature level, and they just showed the picture of the DBs. I mean, he looks like a killer right now.
Yeah, he eating them weights, man.
He looks like
That
he's on a
buy-in.
mission.
Yeah, it's just the weight room reflects buy-in. When you see them kids body changing, it's a big reflection. But I think 25 is gonna have a big year. I just need him to get more discipline in his zone coverage. As long as he just relied on his natural ability for so long, and if we got him to really just hone in on his craft, like what I'm hearing, and if he's
Yep.
really like crafted all off season like he's supposed to with his already God given talent. His instincts is something you can't, like the interception he had last year to close out the game. You just can't coach that. Like that's
Right.
just God given talent. So I think the season and the future is bright for 25, dog. He just got to stay out his own way, stay focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That pick six against Kentucky, I think you saw him in his element. I mean, that's just reading the ball. I don't care at that point. I don't care what the score is. There's just people who just got that like niche to him, and he's got it. I mean, he's got that kind of that he can flip that switch, and he's got it. But with him this season, I don't think it's the interceptions in the late games. See, it's hard because I think he's another one where you got Devin Moore, you got the Dijon Johnson, but then you got him as well. I'm like, how do you keep him off the field? How do you do that? Do you do a rotation? Yeah, like I don't know how you run the DBs unless it's just best man out there at the time. But I like all three of them, to be honest. Again, we know what past has told about Devin Moore. But I do think that if for some reason something does happen to him, I think that Cormani's ready to fill right in. Um, like
Yeah,
you
I
talked
think.
about Ben Hanks. He's another
Yeah,
one that can fill in.
I like Ben Hanks. I think Devin Moore needs a full season. I think
Hmm.
he's gonna impress at combine. He's gonna run something crazy. Finding out like him and Cromani is two of the fastest kids on the team. I think they both in the top 5 speed wise. That's just what you want your DBs to have, that make up speed, to be able to recover, to be able to jump routes, all of that. Devin Moore is an absolute killer. Like I
Yep.
think he'd be a nationally recognized like stout DB if he was healthy. The only
Yep.
thing to slow him down is to have. So if he's healthy the entire season, like that's just things went very good in our secondary if he stays clean.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, I think this season there's you can't leave any meat on the bones this season.
Yeah,
You got to go out there. Everyone's got to be there. The DBs are going to have chances at interceptions. It's not going to be even just it's how Carson Beck, he didn't really have much pressure last year, but he put it into bad territories. The ball is going to be put into bad territories because there's going to be a pass rush. There's going to be pressure on the quarterback. They ain't throwing the ball away every play. They're not going to take a sack every play, but that pressure is going to be there because there's depth there. So if someone's tired, okay, Gums, you're tired of this play. Step out. Jaden Woods is coming in. There's going to be a rotation. The ball is going to be put into bad scenarios.
for
It's
sure.
on you now to capitalize on it and to find that right spot at the right time, get the pick, or just read it the right way. I don't care if they throw a nice ball, go up and get it, but we got to get back to that DBU, name that we've known for a long time. It ain't been there, but also it ain't just on them. If there's no pass rush,
Yeah. That's torture for a DB, no pass rush. I don't think we JB. I don't think we gave our linebacker room enough love, bro.
that's true.
That may be the best room on campus, man. I love what I'm hearing about Aaron Childs. Like
Hmm.
we know like the potential of what he's always been, but if you look at Pup Howard and Graham, is who we thought Miles Graham. We thought those two were the starters, and then you got Aaron Childs and what he brings to the table, and Jaden Robinson. But if they had the team, they put out the content. So on the team page, there's players coming out and they was asking who's been killing camp. The amount of times I heard Aaron Childs and what I'm hearing just from people that's at practice, what they're saying about the man child and Aaron Childs, like no pun
Yep.
intended, man Childs. This was like I'm a marketing guy, so man Childs like hit. But I think we got a special group, man. Even Ty Jackson, shout out to my guy Kenny Roberts in the comments. Yeah, Ty
Yep.
Jackson, Palm Beach, 561 kid. He's gonna be a killer. Miles Murphy, what I'm hearing about him as a freshman, he's the fastest linebacker in that room. That room is absolutely stacked, bro. You're gonna get a lot of turnovers from that. Like the interception that Miles Graham got in the Tulane game. You
Yep.
just can't coach
Exactly.
that. You just can't coach that, man. We got some killers on this team, bro, for sure.
I think that's the hard part, though, is like, it's not even the hard part. It's just like, as doing a podcast, knowing how deep that linebacker room is, you kind of skip over them because you're like, oh, they're set. We don't really need to even harp on it. Same thing with the receiver room.
Yeah.
We're going live the other day. I'm sitting here talking about it, and I got a question of, do you think we'll see a 4 to 5 receiver set? I was like, I don't think we will. But I'm like, if you do, and I'm naming names, and I'm forgetting Eugene Wilson out there, I'm like, how am I forgetting you? Because it's so crazy deep
Yeah.
at receiver that I'm like, it's just so
Here's
set. So you don't,
here's what's wild, right? I was like, I always go like retrospect. So when the season ends and the portal opens,
mm-hmm.
and all these receivers that we offer in the transfer portal, we're all like getting mad because they're going to Texas Tech and whatever these other schools are. We're like, man, what are we doing in the portal?
Mm-hmm.
And you just look at the depth chart. And it's like, no, we got guys. Like
Yep.
we got some guys. So what do we like? Just hindsight, 2020. It was a lot of panic around transfer portal receiver. Who anybody we got in the portal? Where were they going to play at? We only got one football now. And you're trying to figure out like we got eight receivers that can go hoop. How are we gonna get all these guys the ball? So yeah, bro. I think you can let these guys do what they do. The talent's there. We just got to turn that corner. And talent fixes a lot of problems.
Yep.
Your margin of error just is smaller. Like you can make more mistakes coaching wise. Like, does he need to get better than middle eight? Yes, but when you got a guy like Lagway that can just strike from anywhere, you got receivers that can strike from anywhere. You got a pass rush that can create turnovers. Like it just decreases you have more room for error when you have the type of talent that we got on this roster.
Agreed. And I think that's a big thing too, is where it's like, and I even fell victim to it. I think it's kind of like a fear of missing out when it comes to people hitting the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And you see these teams grabbing them.
Yeah.
But when you actually sit back and think about it logically, I'm like, there's a reason that these other teams in FSU and LSU, a Texas Tech, these teams are going so hard after these players is because they're lacking depth. They're lacking players. Yeah, there's a reason FSU went 2-10. And I mean, Ole Miss is a big one. I get it. Ole Miss had, I guess you could call it a decent year last year, but there's snaps together that means more in my mindset and just watching football. I mean, there is a stat that came out that teams who brought in 9+ transfers haven't won the national championship. So
you gotta do what Billy did. You gotta eat a couple years and just take whatever else is on the way. Florida State did eat, like every year they just went transfer portal heavy to put a patch, to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. No, you just gotta let that gunshot wound. You gotta pull the bullet out, do surgery, sew it up, and those seasons are ugly. We went through those ugly seasons and just recruited through the high school ranks. Ole Miss, the Florida State, everybody that's going portal heavy, eventually the tide comes in. Eventually you miss in the portal heavy because you're getting guys from different programs. You didn't develop them. You don't know what type of locker room culture, the gelling, because it's the ultimate team sport. You got 11 guys on both sides of the ball that got to believe in each other and gel, communicate well together. And when you just patchworking and throwing players together every single year, eventually the tide gonna come in. And Billy ate it the first 2 years. He just took whatever's gonna come with not going portal heavy. And then now, there's no need to go portal heavy. Like I kept looking at the roster and was like, I know I want some portal guys, but it's only 85. Who do we push out?
Exactly.
Like you gotta get rid of players to get players.
Yeah, my dad and I talked about this when Billy first got there, and he was bringing like the running backs in. He made the comment. He was like, well, why is somebody going to want to come to Florida and sit behind this running back or sit behind this running back? And I told him, like, well, Bama did it. And I get it. Like, it's anybody that says that, I feel like you talk about that anywhere, people automatically jump on, well, Billy ain't Saban. I never said Billy was Saban. Billy's Billy, and every coach is every coach. It's easy to compare and to try to make it seem, it's great to look at it. Oh, he came from Bama. He's this. But no, when you got someone who can prove we're going to hand the ball off to multiple running backs and you got a running back room, ETN was here, and I don't know what that room was like when he's in there. I think he's a great player. But when you have someone who's selfish and they're constantly hollering for the ball, whereas now I feel like his running back room, the receiver room, just all the rooms in general, everybody wants to see everybody eat. And that's the biggest thing. If they can all get to the NFL, that's what they want. Even if that means I get 400 yards less, it's not an egotistical thing. And you got to get to that point. I've been very, very adamant about it. And anyone who's listening right now in here, if you go and you watch Billy's opening press conference, he told everyone. I feel like everybody tuned in, but nobody listened.
So we heard it.
I know, but it seems like a lot of I know you don't want to
Billy. It's gonna be ugly a couple years, but you're gonna also get this Gators smoke, bro. Like it ain't easy being the quarterback at UF. It ain't easy being the head coach at UF. It ain't easy being. I don't care if you're a swimmer at UF, bro. You better not drown in the pool, man. Because we may be tough as far as like being a fan and whatnot, bro. And it just comes with the territory. Like it's nothing bad or good. It's just that's what comes with it. The pressure's big.
It's tough. I mean, and I get it. That's why you see some of these coaches, they step in there looking one way and they leave. They look like they're 30 years older. And it's a stressful job. And it is. It's tough being in this environment because I'd never, if I'm the head coach of Florida, I'm never getting on X ever and reading those comments. Never. You're going to get torn down.
Billy be on there.
No.
I think the interns typing them cool
sunglasses.
Sunglasses mode. That's definitely your intern. Billy ain't on that.
Yeah, it's definitely not Billy. He probably don't even know his login. But it's just it's a season. I'm just ready for it because I think that this is going to be. I've been very big on it being a make or break season. I'm going to lie until they give me a reason not to lie anymore that we're going to go undefeated and win the national championship. But we see the recruiting that's been done under, I mean, in all reality, how can you walk in there, except until last season near the second half, how can you walk into these living rooms and tell these kids like, yeah, we got a plan, like it's going to come undone? These kids are like, where is it going to start? Now, last year they got it, but you give Billy and his recruiting 10, 11, 12 win season,
it's
sky's the limit.
Yeah, we're gonna cook with hot grease, bro. I think families, just speaking with recruits, like these parents really believe in like what Billy's selling, man. They want to know that the kid's not gonna be ported over. You know, I'm sending my 18-year-old son. Are you gonna go and get 22-year-old grown men to play over him and stunt his development? Billy and the guys do a good job of selling that, and that family like environment. Like it's real. Like I think it's authentic. His belief system. It's gonna be a certain kid that he go get. Like every kid may not want to come to this family environment. They may be NIL heavily driven. Right, we are paying NIL, but you got to get kids that's gonna be here for the long haul and believe in you. And a lot of that is what Billy's selling. Like I said, his belief system. You know, like us having a quarterback that believes a certain way and wear that on his sleeve. You know, his belief system as well. And the quarterback is such a leadership position. All that's very key. But those guys do a really good job of just selling the UF benefits, because we have a lot of resources. This university is alumni base. It's the flagship university. It's a lot that comes with it, bruh. So I think they do a very good job of selling everything that comes with the University of Florida. And most importantly, these kids know that they're going to be developed and they're not going to get transfer portal over and over. He's going to play young boys. There's no better way to develop than getting reps on the field. You know, like everybody want the kid to be polished and ready when you throw him out there as a starter. But nah, bro, like you got to put him out there to get barbecued at corner every now and then for him to learn, throughout the process, man. So they do a good job of it. I'm going to give them flowers what they're good at. I think developing and recruiting, talent acquisition, creme de la creme. I love everything they're doing. Great evaluation. They'll find the find of, we're going to get out of here soon, but the find of George Gums, just beautiful.
I know.
The find of Caleb Banks, beautiful. Jacoby Jackson, that find, beautiful. We could go on and on. Like this Kofi, like some of these transfer portal gets that we are getting us as fans, we're like, man, who is this kid? But the development, bro, is just on point. They got a recipe with finding guys that are under the radar, and turning them into absolute studs.
I mean, I was mad when Ricky Pearsall came in. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some the people they went and got, and I'm like,
bro, you got I was high on that. I was like, bro, what is this?
Yeah, that was a big one too. I mean, the only thing with that one is I was like, okay, he played with Mertz. I guess I kind of understand what they're getting at here, but still, I was like, it's not the like sexy pick. It's not the, it's not these top guys that are going into the transfer portal. But then you go and look at it, and I'm hearing, chatter come draft night that Ricky Pearsall could go round one. I'm like, nah. And I'm like, I get it. I seen Ricky P. I know what he brings to the table, but I'm like, round one, early round two, yeah. But then he goes round one. I'm like, that Billy and Co went and found that. Yeah, that's on them. Like, you can't deny that talent acquisition that they're going and they are looking. I mean, you can't deny it. Billy knows football, and I think that's a big thing. People love to bring up Billy's old college picks and stuff like that. And there's a great saying that those that can't do coach. He may not have made it to the NFL, but he can coach and he can find these players. He knows football. So that's a big thing.
We got a guy. We just need him to win this fall, bro. And if he wins this fall, bro, like the rest of the country is going to be on alert. Like when University of Florida is winning, and we got a quarterback like Lagway, it's going to be an easy sell. And then you look at some of the guys that they got, possibly coming into the quarterback fold. Like we can just keep this train rolling. First thing first is win this season.
Yep. That's the biggest thing. The wins got to come. If the wins come, recruits will come. It's all going to come together. I mean, I don't think you're going to ever see a dynasty or whatever you want to call it, like a Bama again. I just don't see that in this day and age, because you can buy talent. Bryce Underwood got bought from, away from LSU. We understand that, but you got to get people. I think nowadays it's going to become can you get people that really love football and really want to be a part of. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm real big on it. I think we need to pay, and I want these top guys. Pay the quarterback a bunch of. Go ahead and drop a bag on Elijah Haven. I'm cool with that.
Sure.
I'll send $20 in and try to help. But I'm like, you got to do something to get these top guys in. But again, I feel like if you're looking at it in the sense of that you're not going to be a part of this team, you're not going to be a part of what they're doing, just go ahead and just be gone. Because I think there's a lot of toxicity that can come into a locker room, and it can change the whole mold.
For sure.
So we'll see what happens with it. But before I let you get out of here, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find right at my name, man. Corry A. Knows on absolutely every app, including Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you're calling it these days. I'm on Stadium Miguel each and every Monday. We're starting a Friday show, which is called Game Day Eve. So we'll be kicking every Friday, bringing on a guest picker and do our buy or sell segment, last minute injury updates, etc. Also do Flow Factory podcast, which is a lot of sit down interviews with coaches, former players from the entire state. Top 25 show. Make sure y'all tune in. Me and Stephen Harris, the Swamp King himself, 93. We do a show every Thursday morning, just covering the top stories in college football. Most importantly, like the top 25, man. So tap in.
It's a dope show. I was listening to it at work this
It's
last
gonna be
week.
fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
It's a fun one, bro. I really like it. But yeah, man, I really do appreciate you coming on. I appreciate all of y'all hanging out with me. I'm going to go live again probably in like 30 minutes or so and going to do the giveaway. Doing a giveaway of the Spot the Ball shirt and then the If You Ain't a Gator hat. So
Nice.
Be sure to tune back in. I'll share that live out. I'm going to have that
going,
giveaway.
JB. Keep going, man. One show at a time, bro. Keep doing it. Anytime you need me on, bro, I'm here, man. Just hit me up during the season. You want to get some takes, whatever it may be, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Love.
It means a lot. It really does. I think a lot of people don't understand that the Gator Nation goes a lot deeper than just us watching the games and everybody kind of talking about it on X. It's, even something like this. Everybody coming on.
Man.
Yeah, bro.
It's a dope community.
It really is. So I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and I appreciate all y'all in the comments. And so, like I said, I'll be going back live in just a few, and I got to get everything set up for the giveaway. So appreciate y'all. Y'all know the rest. Y'all know what it is. If you ain't a Gator, y'all know what it is.
Baby.